You know how I feel. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You know how I feel. You know how I feel. Ooh, ooh, ooh. feel. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You know how I feel.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can hear me, I think. And
you know how I feel.
now you can see me. Huh. Kind of weird lighting. Hold on. Boop. Okay, maybe that'll be better. Okay, sweet. Sorta. Anyway, whatever. Okay. Let's see. You know, I am looking at the wrong side. What if this guy was over here, and now it kind of looks like I'm looking at it, right? Alright, that's easy. There we go. I don't know. It's stupid. Okay, anyway, sorry guys. Okay, yeah, that's kind of better. A little weird, but I'm such a nerd. Okay. Hey, you guys. Thanks for being patient with me while I nerded out to get that chat right. It does look kind of like better, though. It looks like I'm like, you know. Oh, yeah, like it looks like I'm saying everything. Well, oh, hey, Jules is here again. Sweet. Jennifer's here. Jennifer, this is your request. I mean, so to speak, I put the word out for. Well, I've been putting the word out for requests to everybody. There we go. I've been putting the word out for request, and then in the last class I said specifically if we're going to do a myth class, if there's a myth, Maidan or character or theme or whatever you want me to cover, that's inspiring for me. If I can't do it, I can't do it. Like there's been a few that I felt like I couldn't do a good job of, but okay, cool. Oh wait, now I see what's going on. Okay, there we go. I see. Yeah, I saw that, Rita. In fact, Rita, I'm combining. I need to make sure I don't forget this when I get caught up in the moment. But I'm combining something that you requested, and this, like this. I'm not saying that this will, like once somebody makes a request, it's not like we do it one time and then it's over with. I mean, I love drilling myself actually, and you made a request for drilling. And really, I've always thought of that being kind of a big part of the Julah story. So, okay. Sorry, that's more for me. Jordan's here. Sweet. Happy Halloween to you, Shelly. Yeah, repeat them here. That would help me. But I kind of remember them. I think it was one was about transitions, one was drilling. They were all great. Maybe if I'm forgetting one, you can let me know. Okay, let me make sure I'm not. Yeah. Okay. I see what it is now. If I read it off this monitor in front of me, then I look that way. I see now. Okay, whatever. Who cares? So, let's jump in. I wanted to say something. I want to kind of change something, if possible. I'm happy with the attendance that the stream gets. And but because I would love it if there were thousands of people watching. That'd be crazy cool too. But there's not like a huge amount of people, and what that means is that we have room to kind of like know each other and exchange messages through the chat, without like bogging the whole system up or without them just like flying by. And so what I invite you to do is and this might not be for everybody, but if like you're going through something particular, or you have like a big moment, good or bad, in your life or whatever, or any kind of thing, kind of like what Shelley just shared, I would like to open this space to that. Obviously, we can't turn a 5-minute opening talk into counseling session, but like there's people here that kind of feel like they're getting to know you, or we're getting to know each other, at least in this one sort of container called online streaming hoop class. And so I invite you, there's a 9-second delay, so it may be that we don't really see it. If they come in during sway, then I won't be seeing them until after the sway. But I just want you to know that one thing that feels kind of imbalanced to me is that I'm always sharing about my life, and because we don't Zoom, there's not really a way for you to share. And in my hoop classes, we did share. Jackie can vouch for that. People who have been to my real. Huh. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, nice. Okay, so how this class works, and then I'm going to get into character here, or you know what I mean, get into hoop teacher, storyteller mode. A myth and flow class really is where we will do techniques. I think we are going to do some drilling. I was already had thought when I got the Julah suggestion and I got the drilling suggestion, I was like, okay, perfect. I know exactly what we can do. But they're more flow classes than tech classes. So if I sort of like loosely guide you with a story into a technique or a concept or something like that, and it's not solid stories, it's just themes, ideas. It's not like I'm about to tell you one long story for an hour. In fact, that's not really the way I tell stories anyway. But But you can do any technique that you want to while I tell the story or the concept or whatever. This is a flow class, okay? So, with that being said, hey Rachel. Nice, Jennifer. Nice. Nice. That is a great place to be. If you're not reading the chat or it's too small or too blurry or whatever, she's saying that she's excited about new opportunities that are currently opening up. Hey, Lauren. I don't know if I missed anybody. I probably did. Shelly, Jordan, I think I said hello to you. Jackie, Jules, Rachel, Claire. Yeah. Okay. Lindsay. Okay, cool. All right. If I missed you, that's just because my eyes are dying. Okay. All right. So why don't we jump in? And what we're going to do is the playlist is this is going to be a mellow class. So if you're looking for high energy, it's not going to be tonight, and you don't have to donate. Gosh, I had to change all my passwords because something went goofy on my phone, and hopefully I remembered the right one for this damn iTunes. Ah, wow, God. iTunes. Oh no, I didn't. Shit. All right, maybe I did. Hold on a second. Oh God. All right, we'll just have to go from iTunes. Okay, we're just gonna play some from SoundCloud. Apple is so frustrating. Oh my God. It's like you pressed 9 too many times. We're locking you out of iTunes. It won't even let me play from my library. Aww. Okay, I don't want to fix this right now. I know, audible breath. Well, I was planning on using SoundCloud anyway, so screw Apple. I don't know why it won't let me kill the program, though. Let's see. Whatever. All right. Okay, here we go. Okay. So we're going to step into Storyland. And we're going to begin with what's called a silent sway. Okay. And there's one sound that's invited to, or allowed, or given the privilege to break the silence, and that's your own breath. But that's up to you. I can keep my breath really quiet. Actually, I'm really enjoying just being super quiet. But if it feels better for you, you could take big breaths in, big breaths out. I really admire the character of Julah the Quiet because she's completely different than me socially. Audible breath in. Where, in my case, I try to feel a moment out by just machine gunning it with words. And Julah the Quiet creates open space by listening. Audible breath in. So for the next 2 minutes, we're going to sway like Julah the Quiet. Just moving and listening. We'll begin with an audible breath in. Audible breath in. All right. So I'm going to bring some music in. And then I'm going to work to set the vibe a little bit more. I know for certain that some of you are watching believe that you can get a sense of people. And characters and stories aren't really that different. So to help you pick up the scent of Julah, I'll just share as you sway. When a Maidan is born, before they're born, a tree, a very special, very recognizable tree to the Maidan, bursts its way through the earth. It's a very unique tree. It has a fragrance, and the Maidan can pick up that fragrance. And when they find that little sprout, they visit it almost every day. And the way it grows and the way it reacts and where it was planted or where it was born, they're all clues for the Maidan to find the Maidan that it was born to be the hoop of. Audible breath in. Julah's sprouting young tree indicated that she was going to be in trouble the moment she was born. That grave, grave dangers were ahead of her, and that the Maidan needed to find her as fast as possible. So they put together their strongest, smartest warriors. And the team was led by a woman named Ashwa, the teacher. And they followed the spiritual scent of young, about-to-be-born Julah, and they found her in the nick of time and rescued her. But they were surrounded by enemies. Violent, ugly forces. And Ashwa asked Julah, really, she pleaded with her. And she said to her, there is so much love for you where I'm taking you. And the only way we can get there is if you can hold your cry. And if you can hold your cry till we are back home, your new home, then I will hold you in every future cry you have. Audible breath in. Audible breath in. Okay. Because this class is going to be pretty mellow, we're going to have just a sort of about 6 minutes of sway tonight, so we're going to move on. The thing about Julah, the character, is that it wasn't as if like she was, mute or something. Like, it wasn't as if she could not speak. And from that story, I know we're going to tell another one here, but from that story, the Maidan begin to realize they don't call her the Quiet just because she did that one solid for them, right? They call her the Quiet because it's like, they mean it like, they could have said like the Peaceful, like she's just not like agreeable when she shouldn't be or whatever. She just creates a calm, like her energy when she, even as a young girl, when she's in the room, and she was still a young girl, but she was calm, and she just, her probably pinnacle moment is late in her life when she just becomes the, like, basically the Maidan counselor for all these young Maidan who just pour their guts out for her because they can like see in her eyes just acceptance, and like open space to talk, not like, sometimes people give you these narrow hallways that you're supposed to try to figure out your way through. Okay. So, for our next... Oh, nice. Nice. Sweet. Y'all are awesome. I love you guys. Okay. What's so beautiful about stories is how, if we're allowed to, we can weave our way into them. For instance, when they created Star Wars, they created something called the Jedi. And even without seeing the movie, if you just were given the plot summary, almost everyone has a sense of what Jedi means and even what it feels like. Audible breath in. Julah's way with point technique was quiet. She liked being quiet. When she was a little girl, she could be so quiet that she could sneak up on anyone. And she didn't mean to scare them, but she would scare the crap out of them. Audible breath in. As I said, this is a flow class that could be experienced in any movement you like. But for this exercise, I'm imagining, like Julah, I'm trying to move quietly. Audible breath in. There's a funny line that I wrote in the story once where Julah and Giancarlo are not, they're basically brother and sister. And one time Giancarlo was trying to sneak up on Julah and surprise her, and of course she's not surprised. And she says, to Giancarlo, she says, "Your your confidence stomps loudly." She could have said cockiness probably, but when I wrote it, it said confidence. That was I try not to let my confidence stomp loudly, but I think it does. So one more reason I love this lady. Okay, let me make sure this is the song I thought it was. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, it's hard for me to be. Maybe I'm being too honest. Yeah, never mind. We'll talk about that later. All right. Gosh, this just won't close. That's so crazy. Okay. So for this next technique, so Julah was not particularly stomps. Okay. Oh, did that? Oh gosh. Okay. All right, y'all. I have a bad feeling that my computer might be about. Yeah, I thought so. Okay. Oh. This iTunes thing is really cramping my style. Oh, I see what's going on. Okay, there we go. Okay. There we go. Everything's working now. Okay. For this next exercise, or this next invitation, I'm going to tell one more story. Julah enjoyed point, but that wasn't really like, that wasn't as if that was her only thing. But when the Maidan would do what they jokingly called jousting or whatever, some of you might know what that means, and they do these little like sort of sparring sessions, but they're not trying to hurt each other. They're actually trying to drum their hoops. Julah was much more of a defensive type, participant in that game. She enjoyed sort of the defense that the hoop offered, rather than she wasn't like striking like probably we would see Kaya or whatever. She was much closer to her body. And so I'm going to tell a story, and what I invite you to do, if you want, is to think about you're this young Maidan, you're in some spooky woods, right? And you're moving through these woods slowly, quietly, or maybe not slowly, but quietly. And yet you're aware constantly that there could be sort of a threat on any side of you. If you keep your feet moving, you'll kind of feel the vibe of what I'm talking about, I think. Okay. Audible breath in. As part of every Maidan rite of passage, at a certain age, when the Maidan feel as though they're ready for it, they have to leave the Maidan, and they have to seek out other Maidan, with the belief that there might be some Maidan out there that they didn't see the tree, they didn't get notified, so they have to go find them. And so when they leave the Maidan, forest, it's very scary for them. And they learn how to sleep in the wilderness. Julah decides that she moves mostly at night and sleeps during the day. And as she's moving through the woods, she begins to smell something else with a big beating heart. And when she sits still, she can hear its slow steps. And she can tell that it knows that she knows that it's there. And from the sound of the footsteps, Julah determines that it's a really big cat. Like a big cat. Like bigger than a tiger. Bigger than a lion. And she imagines the cat, based on the sound that it makes, as having this black, leathery type skin and these yellow eyes drooling from its mouth as it pursues her. And she runs. She climbs trees. She hops. She swims across raging rivers. And every time she thinks she's lost the big cat, she can hear its footsteps behind her. One night, she's just tired. She's just over it. She's been dealing with this chase for so long. And she grips her hoop, and she moves into her defensive positions, and she waits for that cat. And sure enough, it walks right in, just as ugly and nasty as she imagined it. But it doesn't pounce on her. It walks right up to her face, right up to her face. And it sits down on its back two legs. And the big cat, and she says to the big cat, she says, "Why are you not eating me?" And the big cat says back, "I just wanted to be seen." And Julah says, "Well, what are you that wants to be seen?" And the big cat says, "I'm your loneliness." Audible breath in. Sometimes we don't even realize we have a big cat. Audible breath in. Audible breath with you. Keep your audible breath with you. Oh. There we go. Now it's perfect. Audible breath in. Sometimes I think of changing paces, even though they don't really make much difference in noise. I think about a high pace of hooping being loud, quiet as being slow. Audible breath in. Yes, Jules, the Maidan, that's such a big thing to them that they consider the feet your roots. That they clench, or they get nutrients from the earth through their feet, like they're these transfer vessels. As much as they transfer them, things are transferred into them through them, if that makes sense. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Jennifer. Absolutely. Loving these comments, guys. Thank you. Okay. So, oh, thanks. Well, thank them. Or whatever. Lots of art. Yeah, well, never mind. We'll talk about writing some other day. For what it's worth, all these stories, like, I don't feel like I come up with the original. Well, like, it's never mind. I'll explain that later some other time. Sometimes, like authors, people that create will like not really even know where it came from. It just came, and then they, of course, came through them, so they have an effect on it, right? Like they definitely write it or build it or whatever. But and that's why I tell like young artists, like, go with that. Whatever your art is go with those pulses. If it helps you to like not own them so you don't get cocky, just believe it's coming from somewhere else and that you're like a vessel of it or something. Okay. Yeah, we haven't really gotten into drilling. Okay, so I don't know if I don't know if I actually will do drilling tonight, Rita. Maybe let's make that Saturday. Unless you can't watch, if you know you can't watch. Nice, Lauren. Nice. I love that you guys are feeling confident enough to comment. Really, it makes me feel so much less alone here. But I want to do this next exercise. Yeah, actually, we're gonna play this one. Okay. So I don't know if you guys saw the. A lot of you were watching it. There's a class I did called Kaya Dreams of Snakes, and in the class, Kaya, another Maidan, who is trying to learn point technique. She's all samurai. She's always grip all the time. That's Kaya energy. She's the warrior. I just realized I never hooked my my bird's eye. Anyway, she's hey there. But she wants to learn point technique, and so Julah basically invites her to have a call on this dream walker, and the dream walker appears in the dream, and whatever. Sorry, I need to. And Kaya has this dream where she wakes up in this scary place, and when she goes to move her arms are all snakes. and we put socks on our hands. I don't know if you guys remember that, but it's a great technique for just if you like point, for like getting away from point or whatever. But Kaya wants to learn that because of Julah. So I thought what we would do for our last like full exercise, and then I'll play some songs if y'all want to stick around for a free hoop, but is Julah being snaky with her arms. And oh, thanks, Rita. Yeah, okay, good. You guys do remember it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put some. Yeah, let's do the sock class again. All right, that was fun for me. I had such a good time on that class, actually. Oh yeah, the chopstick class. That was a hit. Okay, so let me show you some snaky folds and stuff, and this will give you some stuff to work on. And the next song, if we flow into it, we'll just go from, whatever. We'll move into a free hoop. But one thing, like some fun snaky stuff you can do, like if I'm just holding my hand, if I'm just holding the hoop in a 2-point fold, it's just on my body somewhere here, and I bring this other hand, into the hoop here and start to lift up, I can get this nice gooey slow fold, right? Maybe I'm sure everybody here is already doing this. It's not super hard or anything like that. This is another kind of gooey, snaky type fold where I've got the hoop in front of me. I'm here, the hoop's in the front and hanging in the back, and I bring one snake, one hand up here, and then bring the other up, and I get this like really organic. Or I can do both. You can do these sort of hugs. If I've got the hoop held out here, let's say it's held here, and it comes in here, and then I hug it, boom, right? All this stuff is super obvious, I get it, but sometimes the most obvious thing is right in front of you, and it's not until somebody says it that, points it out, that you're like, oh gosh. Like hugging was kind of one of those things for me, actually. Hug it with the hoop. All right. This like sort of inside hand walk is kind of a snaky move, I think. Alright. This is probably when a lot of you are piecing out, but like this is a super foldy flippy thing, but it's fun, and it's basically like a snake arm type move, Basically it's just like a snake arm type thing with, like, if I'm just holding the hoop and I just bring my arm and start to, maybe I try to come over that edge. Okay. You can fire questions away. Sometimes it's like the characters that we read about and hear about and learn about, sometimes we feel like they possess a lot of qualities that kind of inspire us. Maybe because we don't have those qualities. And then there are some characters that inspire us because we know we share some of those qualities. And so each Maidan story is meant to help you either see the sky or see the sky in the reflection of the water. Nice, thank you. Yeah. Okay, well maybe y'all are feeling Julah after all. I can just see Julah just doing stuff like this forever. Oh, nice. Yeah. Nice. Be careful, hand walking is addictive. Your shoulders may get jealous. Julah. Would Julah do wheelies, y'all? Do you think Julah would do wheelies? Would that be her thing? Oh man. Yeah, I think they're too loud. Tracing, nice, Lauren. I really appreciate contact body rolls. Yeah, probably. Oh God. I love you guys. All right, cool. So we'll just keep the free hoop going. Thank you guys for joining. I know a lot of you peace out at the free hoop part, but I feel like I'm gonna keep going. For me, just to hoop, but not too long. I think we'll go to maybe a song or two. Anyways, thank you so much. We'll definitely be having class Saturday. Rita, if you can make it, we'll probably do a drills class. Some of my favorite drills. That might be fun. But if you can't make it, I'm not going to teach. Well, I'm not going to teach the thing you want on the class. I know you're not going to be there, so. Sweet. Sweet, thanks guys. Or, not guys, I gotta stop saying guys. Thank you, friends. Thank you, friends. Thank you, Carla. Thank you, Rita, Rachel, Jordan. Nice. Okay, cool, cool. You're welcome, Lindsay, Jennifer, Shelly, again, Jackie. If Claire was here tonight, I can't remember right now, but I think she was. Yeah, well. Good night, Lauren. Thank you. Oh, yeah. I will, yeah, I'll post the playlist while you guys free hoop or while you bounce. Just, it'll be in the comments. I'll post it right now. Good night, y'all. Thank you so much. Here comes the link.